Hello there everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75, and welcome back to part 2 of my G1 Jetfire review. Now then, you probably watched the first part, and that was where I reviewed, of course, Generation 1 Jetfire. For this second part, I'm going to be concentrating on some of the actual Valkyries that I've got, which of course this guy was taken from back in 1985 when he was released. I'm just going to show you some of the differences, and one very rare one which I got off eBay about, well, just over a year ago now. Right, so of course now then, this is G1 Jetfire, of course, absolutely brilliant transformer. Let's take a look at this one which I have got, which is a reissue from a few years ago. These are quite rare to get now, especially the ones which came with all the armour, because a lot of them just came with just basically the jet. This one is, I've been sort of like putting some Decepticon labels on it, as you can see there. But this is one that, well, let's just say it was very hard for me to get this one. It cost me about £100, maybe even a bit more than that, I can't remember now. But it is absolutely brilliant. These reissues are really good. Yeah, it's superb reissues. I'm going to show you the box quickly. And then I'm going to show you a quick couple of differences between them and Jetfire. This is of course the box. This is the Origin of Valkyrie reissue boxes that they did a few years ago. You can still get these on eBay if you're lucky, but usually it just comes with just the jet. Like I say, I paid a bit extra for this one. This one comes with the regular Jetfire head, we're going to call it. Whereas the others did come with some different heads, and I'm going to show you those in a second. Right, back to the figures themselves. This is of course with all the armour on. Of course you can take it all off. Now then, one difference I did notice on the reissue Valkyries, I can't remember if it's the same for the original ones. I do have one here. Yep, it's exactly the same on them ones, so it must have just been something to do with, sorry about that, to do with G1 Jetfire. Maybe they changed it. But on G1 Jetfire, the wings can only come forward this much, and there's a little stopper, I don't know if you can see that, just where the sort of like the wing hits a little point just there. But on these Valkyries, and the same from the ones from 1982, you can actually sweep them right forward to this position. Don't ask me why you can't on G1 Jetfire, but that is a bit of a strange thing I noticed there. And now then, if you come to the sort of the nose cone, it is very rounded. Whereas on these ones, it is sort of like almost in a point. I can imagine they maybe done that because obviously some kid could poke his eye out with it, maybe. But yeah, right. And with these reissues, you can actually detach the cockpit, which I'm going to show you now when I show you a different figure that I've got. Put those two back down there, and we come to this one, which is a slightly, of course, different colour. He comes with like green armour, as you can see, which is pretty cool. And he's more grey in colour, and he comes with this different head, which is pretty cool. And he comes with this little gun on top, which you can sweep forward if you wanted to. And yes, so you can replace the cockpit with like the skull and crossbones thing, because I believe these were part of the Skull Squadron, I believe, because I remember my brother did nick one of my old G1 Jetfires off me, and he repainted up to be one of these guys, so because he was into Macross. So yeah, so pretty cool. I do like these. Yeah, just really cool. Right, so we're going to put him down, and we're going to come to the third one I have of these. This is his box, like I say. If you've seen my G1 Jetfire review part 1, you would have seen me show off this box. This one, I'm not quite sure if it's a knockoff, but I know it was made in England, so a bit of funny that. Anyway, but this is him. I've been decking this guy out in some G1 Evil Jetfire repro labels, as you can see. But the head is just brilliant because it's very much like Shockwave. I do like it, and it's just got sort of like a single sort of like gun on the top there, and it's pretty damn good. I do like it. It's a bit loose in places, and I had to fix a little bit of it because the back wouldn't stay in position. Bit strange, but then again, like I say, it could have been a knockoff because some bits just don't seem to want to go together properly. Anyway, right, so for this review, I am going to be doing this, which is the VF-1S Armored Valkyrie GP-1S. I think that's just the gift set version there. Anyway, but this is absolutely brilliant. It comes with a regular 155 scale Valkyrie, and it comes with some all new battle armour, which is absolutely fantastic. I did hear once, I read a review online of some geezer that actually was in charge of releasing Transformers back in 1985, and they did actually schedule, they were actually going to reissue Jetfire for 1986, I believe, but if it had been the same or if it had been different, he really couldn't remember. So who knows, maybe it was going to come with this armour, who knows, or maybe it was just going to be a repaint, a bit like, you know, the old Seeker jets. Anyway, right, this is the Valkyrie that did come with this set. As you can see, he has seen better days. This cockpit, you can't replace it, because in them days they just painted it black. And he's a bit loose. As you can see, the back doesn't really want to stay too well. I could fix that with a bit of super glue, and it should stay in position a bit more. But it does look pretty cool. Of course, he's got green eyes and everything like that. I haven't put no Decepticon signs on this actual figure. Right, so let's just put the armour on and see what it looks like afterwards, and then you can see if you think he looks any good. Right, the first part we're going to put on is this bit here. This is the main body section. We need to unclip him there just to get the back section. As you can see, not much to it. And all we do on the figure is we lift up the arms like so. Let me just so you can see it. And then it just sort of fits just round here, and you just sort of wiggle it into position just like that. He's got a little hole there, and that just goes over the little knobbly bit to get the landing gear out. Once you're happy with it, you just sort of like re-put back down the section, and that should clip there in place, but this one doesn't want to stay in place too well, so you've got to hold it there. Anyway, so that's what he looks like with the back section on, not much at the moment. Then we get this front section. As you can see, I'll put some Decepticon signs on this because this guy does look mean as fuck, and I think he should be a Decepticon. Right, so we're going to hold all this together, and hopefully this should fit together. You just go straight over the front. I'm going to try and do this from the side view, and this should just wiggle it into position. He's got two clips just at the side here. If I move his arm, see a little clip there, and then the front sections just have to go over little tabs at the front, and you've just got to wiggle it into position like so. And we should do that, I'm hoping. That's it. Are we all hunky-dory? There we go. And that is him with his new chest. Absolutely brilliant. Right, and then actually that does hold him in place a little bit more, because I don't need to worry about that. Now then, what goes on next? We are going to put on these are his new arm pads, or whatever you want to call them. These just go easily straight over the arms like this, and then just push them on until they click into position like that. And again, straight over this one. Push it on until it clicks into position, and that gives him some new arms like that. Then what are we going to do? We are going to put on, I'm going to put him down there for a second, we're going to put these little leg armour. As you can see, it just sort of splits in half like this. You get the back half, you get his little foot, sort of like jimmy it up into position. It sort of just fits in there. This is going to be a little bit hard to show you on camera, but I'm going to try my best. Should just sort of fit in there like that. And then this section just goes over front. I don't think I'm going to be able to, it's far too heavy. But anyway, as you can see, just sort of like fits over. There we go. If I lift him back up now, as you can see, it just sort of fits over like that. And again, we just sort of push it together and hope for the best. Doesn't really want to go too well on this leg. I'm always afraid that I'm going to break the bloody thing. But that's it. Probably not together too, totally right. Right, so then we do the same on the other leg. Like so. That one just fits over the back here. Like so. There it is. And then we just push this front one on the top. That one goes together a lot better. Maybe there's something in there pushing in the way. Let me just have a quick look, because I don't want to break the bloody thing. It cost me enough. Yeah, it might have been that. Ah, yeah, that was it. It was one of the landing gear bits was in the way. Right, so that's him so far, with his leg armour on. Now then we're going to put his little thrusters on the side. These go on differently than G1 Jetfire. What you do is you open them up to this position, and then we just get to the back of him here, and this just slides like that. Oh, like that, up into position. And you push it all the way. And then he's got some little holes here, either side. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them there. Just there, and then we've got one just there. And then the little back wings, these, you just have to tilt it backwards and then push them together. And that holds it in place. So that's how it fits on. And now then he's looking much more like the armoured Jetfire that we know. And then all we've got to do now is put little shoulder pads on. And these just fit straight over the shoulders like that. And again, push them down until they click into place. Like so. Now we're a bit fiddly. And there we go. And this is him in his full armoured mode. Absolutely brilliant. He looks amazing. I do like this guy. And then you can position his feet. I like to position one forward, one backwards like that. So then when he's standing there, he just looks awesome. He really does. And he's got his gun in his hand. So he can still hold that. Absolutely great. And right, and of course now the features of this fellow, he was supposed to be, let me put the gun, it's a bit loose in his hand. He was supposed to be a heavily armoured sort of like thing, and he's got, you can open up the shoulder pads like this, and he's got missiles in there, as you can see. And then with his chest, you just flip these two bits forward like that, and then he's got sort of like these little missile gun pods in either side. And now then, he's got guns just here on the side here, and these pods on the side of his legs. Should open. He's also got ones on the back of his legs. There we go. If you had a slightly smaller scale version, because I do have another one I think up in the loft, I don't think I sold it on eBay. These would have all opened to reveal missiles. And so he was prettily heavily armed, and of course he's got these guns just underneath his hands here. So this fella is just heavily armed, and he's fucking hard as nails. Yeah. Absolutely fucking brilliant. I do like this figure. Like I say, it cost me more than I wanted to pay, but at the time he was just one of those figures that I saw and I really did want, especially when I found out that they did it in the 155 scale. The armour you can fit on any Valkyrie, you can even put it on Jetfire if I wanted to. But I just like it on this guy. I actually like putting this guy in the armour because he does look pretty good. But this is one of the first times I've actually put the original Valkyrie that came with it in the armour. And he does look very good. I do like these guys all on display. They look fucking mean. Anyway, right. So, I hope you liked this review. Coming next, what am I going to try and do next? I'm going to try and do Primus and Unicron, but who knows. Anyway, this has been Graham, Collect75. I shall see you all next time. Bye for now.